put this Harbor Freight Special Badland 9,000 pound winch on this thing. We got the bumper back off again. And I got it up on a lift. We got to do a couple things real quick. I got to weld this exhaust. And then we're going to take the wheels off and replace the backing plates and the parking brake mechanism. So that complete thing, we got to take the axles out, take the brakes all apart. We tried changing just the shoes, but the backing plates were all rotted. So we're going to do the whole thing complete. All right, there we go. All right. Now we got to take this shield down or fix it or something. All right, that's done. All right, on to the next step. All right, so we rehooked up those two bolts above that to keep all this stuff up. It's a heat shield for the exhaust and the transmission on the floor, so we fixed that. The one that was back here we took down because that ain't there no more anyway. It's basically all rotted and flapping around the breeze. We got to take this thing down, and then that's it. Take the wheels off, start doing the brakes. It's the one that's stuck. Alright, we got one that's messed up Gotta get a different sock and see if I can get that off. It's frozen on there. It won't come off. Gotta heat it with a torch. Imagine this on the side of the road. Nope. All right, try something else. Oh yeah. On the side of the road in the snow. That's what you want. You want to be changing a tire like that. Yeah. All right, so after heating it up and then using a giant freaking breaker bar, put the torch on it again, hit it with the breaker bar, and it finally came off. Yeah, it's hot. So here's what the problem is with them. See, they look like an acorn, but this is just like a tin shield over it. It's like a little tin cup cover over it. They rust. So what happens is, in between the shield and the nut, they rust and they expand, and then you can't get a socket on it. Now when you do get a socket on it, it strips the shield off. Then you're left with this, which is a totally different size. And they're frozen on there because they're all rusted in there. So you're getting new wheels anyway. This guy's getting new wheels and rims and tires and whatever. So if he wasn't, then what we would do is get all new lug nuts that are solid, not with the shield on them. It's a one-piece deal. All right. So now I got to take these brakes apart. So we had these apart the other day and took it all apart and found out that all the backing plates are messed up. So we ordered new backing plates and new sensors for the ABS. Brakes and rotors are actually good because somebody just did them, I guess, not too long ago. 18mm. Now let me get this apart and then I'll show you what we're doing. All right, so the brakes aren't in there because we took them out the other day. So now we got to loosen this backing plate up, which we got to take off these 4 big bolts to get this bearing retainer off. And then we got to slide the axle out. So the axle has to come out, and then this brake backing plate will come off. All right, so there we go. So we got the bolt out, right? This sensor has to come out. The wheel speed sensor, right? Got new ones of those. Now I got to get the puller and then hammer pull this off to get the axle out of the way so this whole thing will come off. All right.
Okay. Okay.
So now, for this part, you need a slide hammer. Hopefully it'll come off. This is the most retarded thing they did. Seal and then this retaining. And now what I'm going to do is take that and those two bolts off, and then this plate will come off. Put it all back together and then put this back on, and that'll keep it.
Well, just let that drain in there.
Get it right so I can clean this up. Man, that fluid's nasty.
I've never been darned in.
Nah.
Who knows how long?
That's probably original fluid.
200,000.
All right, there we go. All right. And my 16th.
Watch
I
out.
gotta go wash my
Watch
hands.
out. Watch out. Here.
Let me shut this off. I gotta wash my hands.
Fluid.
All right.
Where the freak did my brother go? He went in to eat some food because he didn't have breakfast yet, and he was coming out, and I haven't seen him. What do you want to put, 19?
Yeah. All right. Okay. All right. Now we'll see what the new brakes look like when they show up. So this whole plate comes off. The new one comes with everything. I'm gonna clean all this up. I'm gonna sand all this down, put some lube on it, and get it ready to go. All right, so I'm gonna start taking the other side apart while we're waiting for these brake backing plates to show up with the brakes. All right. Alright, so two of the nuts came off. This bottom one and this top one in the back. The head broke off the weld, so it's like stripped, so it's just spinning. So now I gotta take all the brakes apart like we did on that side, and then probably tack the head back onto the plate so that it'll come apart. So that's what we're doing now. Everything's so rusty. Let's see now. That's better. All right. All right. Let me get that off. All right. Finally got those bolts off. Do the same thing on this side with this. And here lies the problem with rust. All right. I'll try heating the flange up. So we got the bolts out. That's free. But the bearing's stuck in here. Gotta figure this out. Well, this side's locked in, so we're gonna have to heat it and get it off, and then we gotta replace the bearing and the seal, because it ain't coming off. I've been slide hammering this thing for 20 minutes, it ain't coming off. So after we get some heat on it, we'll get it off, but we'll have to replace this stuff. Well, this side's locked in, so we're gonna have to heat it and get it off, and then we gotta replace the bearing and the seal, because it ain't coming off. I've been slide hammering this thing for 20 minutes, it ain't coming off. After we get some heat on it, we'll get it off, but we'll have to replace this stuff. All right. Smoking. Finally came off. That sucked. So, got to replace the bearing and the seal on this side. All right. And that's got to be pressed. So, we got to get that done. All right, so just got the new grill in. We're going to put that on. We're going to put the headlights in first. He's got these headlights that change colors and stuff. So we're going to put them on first, wire them up, and then put the grill on, then put the bumper back on. Well, the way the bulb sits in this channel, it's like this one, it's like too big. So we're going to try to notch this a little bit and see if we can get it to sit back in there. I like when you buy stuff and it's bolt on. Yep, bolts right on. Direct replacement. Just need $5 million worth of tools to make it work. All right, that's better. Everything's plastic. And everything fits like crap. Alright, that's on. I'm going to do the other side now. Same thing. Go to grind them little nubs down and get that done. Alright. Turn the fan down. Alright, so we got the light bulbs in. We modified the little socket that they sit in, whatever the seat they sit in. So we're going to just wire tie these wires up here. And then we run the box to the accessory wire into the fuse box there, and then there's an app that you use to make these halos change colors. All right, let me wire these up, and then we'll put the grill on. All right, got the grill on. I gotta cut this filler panel so that the winch will bolt onto that. So do that real quick. Get Josh over here, help me put the bumper back on. That thing weighs a freaking ton. We're gonna put that back on, and I'll show you what it looks like. All right, looking good. The bumper on. Just gotta finish tightening the bolts. I'm gonna get it back up in the air. We got the grill on. We transferred all the clips from the grill, the old grill, to the new one. Put the new one on. Put the weather stripping on the top. Put the lights in. Parking lights, directionals, all that good stuff. So, looks pretty cool. Alright, got these hooks all mounted on here. Alright, so now next thing to do is I got this, this little box has to get wired into the fuse panel here on accessories. And then the app, I guess Bluetooth to that. We'll figure that out later. So, next thing I'm going to do is put the winch on here, get it up in the air, tighten everything down, run the wires for that thing, and get that going. Alright, so got the winch mounted there, got this front roller mounted on the front. Now we're running the wires, so there's a cable that goes down underneath, that's the ground, and then the power one comes to this big junction box, relay box. I'm going to wire this up, get this on here. Alright, looks great. I got it all wired up. So you got the wire on the bottom is the ground, and that goes up to the battery. Those all get wired like that. The box goes up here. Wires come up through here, nice and clean. And this is the relays for the positive and the ground. Okay, I gotta wire this little box for the headlights next, and that's it. The winch is all ready to go. Once I put it up in there, I'm going to tighten it all up, make sure it's all tight with the bumper. All right. So this front's all set. Winch is on, winch works, in and out. The hook all mounted, got it all tightened up. The bumper all tightened up. That's a solid piece right there. All right, so that's that. Looks good. All right. Now the brakes.